Hey guys, it's Courtney from the Carolina Farmhouse, and today we are going to be opening my seed packet. I have not opened this yet. It came in a couple days ago and I wanted to open it with you guys. So we're going to do that now. I apologize for how stuffy I sound. I'm battling a bit of a head cold right now, but I've got me some hot tea and I figured we'd sit by the gas fire. It's in the 60s and for southerners that's cold, but I thought as we look forward to spring during these dreary winter months, it would be fun to open my seed packets together. My seeds are from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. I have ordered from them the last 4 years that I have gardened with seed starting. I love them. They have like time-tested heirloom seeds. So let's dig in here and see what we've got. So first I have my herbs slash flowers, and I got the poppy, the Falling in Love poppy. I just couldn't resist. I want to do a wildflower area, and these were just so pretty that I thought I would try to grow them. Next I have some common, is it yarrow? I don't know that I've ever heard this pronounced out loud, so let me know if I'm saying it wrong, but yarrow, because this is really a good herb. It can help stop bleeding, it can be calming, so I'm excited to grow that, plus it's pretty. Next I have some Korean Golden Jubilee Hyssop. This can be really good in teas, and so I was intrigued by that because I drink a lot of hot tea. Chamomile. This is just the Lottie Land chamomile, the basic chamomile. I love chamomile tea. These Titan sunflowers. The heads of these were really big and like 24 inches across, and so my thought was I could use this as like a supplement with my chickens, like extra feed. I do want to get some just pretty sunflowers to grow in the back of my garden. I got some dill, the bouquet dill, because I plan on making a lot of pickles this year. I was reading on their website and they said if you succession plant this, then you will have enough to last you through the summer, because it can go to flower and go to seed pretty quickly. I got some cardinal basil. I got several different types of basil this year because on Roots and Refuge, her YouTube channel, she was talking about basil teas and how good they are, and like it's like a cold tea that you drink in the summer, and it just sounded so good, so I really want to try to grow several different types of basil. So I got like the basic basil that you, I guess what comes to mind when you think of basil. I've grown this before, the slow bolt cilantro, because I didn't realize cilantro is actually more of a cooler weather herb. You wouldn't think it because cilantro is in a lot of Mexican dishes and salsas and things like that, and you think of like heat, and I don't know, it was surprising to me that this herb that we need for all of our summer vegetables bolts in hot weather. So this one lasted a little bit longer. I'm going to play around this summer with planting some of this in shadier areas in the summer and see if I can get it to last longer. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Agastache. They were talking about how pretty these are, how good they smell, and how great it is for tea. So I was interested in trying this. I've never grown it before. And then BALM or wild bergamot. Bergamot? I've heard it say bergamot. I've heard bergamot. How do you say it? This is a great herb, and so I wanted to grow it. Plus it's really good for pollinators. Next up, I have my lettuces. I've got a pretty hefty stack here. We love lettuce, and I grew up eating lots of salad. And my kids, I've grown several of these types before. They literally will come in my garden and just pick lettuce and eat it, and that makes me happy. So I always want to keep lettuce growing in my garden. So this is my first time to try the little gem. It's just like little romaine heads. And in my mind, I was like, we could just pick one for each of us and slice it open and have our own individual salad. So we'll see how that goes. I also thought the same thing. The Tom Thumb lettuce. It's like these little smaller heads of lettuce. And I'm always trying as a mom to make my life easier. And I was like, if we could all just have our own individual little head of lettuce and that be our salad and meal, that sounds easy rather than me having to make like a whole big salad. So that's the Tom Thumb lettuce. I've grown this one before. It's MERLOT. This was my free seed last year. And I liked it so much that I purchased it this year. It grew really well. I've also grown this spinach before, and it's very big and leafy. It's not like the baby spinach, but it tastes really good. This is a cabbage. They said it keeps well. So I want to try to grow some cabbage from seed. I've never grown cabbage before, so I really want to keep some on hand for sauerkraut and things like that. And these two I have grown before. The Rocky Top lettuce. It's just a blend. I really like the different colors and flavors, and it grows really easily. I've never had issues with it starting. It's probably my 3rd year of growing this one, and I love it. And then this one, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it's like a speckled leaf lettuce. And to me, it's really pretty, and it adds that color to your salads. Next up is carrots. I've grown carrots twice, and I've had a pretty good turnout. I also followed Roots and Refuge's method of getting her carrots to germinate. I've grown the Black Nebula before, but before I could harvest them, that's when we moved last year. So these are really high in antioxidants because of their deep dark color. So I'm excited to try these. This was a free seed that came with my order, so I will be trying that too. And then I got the Purple Dragon carrots. I'm pretty sure these are the kind that I grew in my garden 2 years ago, and they were so pretty. They were almost like an ombre of purples, and then they're orange on the inside. So they tasted really good, and then I wanted to get a yellow carrot, so I got these. Next up are beans. So we love green beans, but I can't remember the name of the kind that I grew at our last house, but they were very stringy. So I got the Landreth stringless beans, and I will report back if we like these better, because we do eat a lot of green beans, and I would like to find one that is a little less chewy and doesn't have those strings in it. And then I got a couple of like dry beans that you have to shell. I got the Black Goat Runner bean. I just thought those were so pretty. We eat a lot of black beans and kidney beans, and so I wanted to find something that we could grow and that would also store well. So I got these to try, and also the Purple Hull Pink Eye Cowpeas. It says a preferred variety of many Southerners, delicious flavor. So sounds like the beans for me. And then next are cucumbers. The Boston pickling cucumbers. I've been growing these. This will be my 4th year to grow them. They're my favorite. I don't get crazy on the varieties of cucumber because there's a certain type of cucumber I like. These just taste so good. Except this year. Remember when my cucumbers were so bitter from the move? They were stressed out. So that was the only time they've ever gone bitter on me. But I think that was more from the stress of the move. These are just the best cucumbers. I love them. They do have the little spikes on them when you pick them, so you have to wash them. And then I bought these last year to try, and I never got one. So I want to try them again. I love that they're just small, and I feel like that would be a great snack. Just to pop these in your mouth. I don't know what the flavor's like, so I was like, I've got to try these again and see if we like them. So it's the Mexican sour cucumber. Also, I just realized I was sitting on one of my seed packs. I got these greens. I don't know how to pronounce that, but they were very high in a lot of vitamins that I'm deficient in. I finally heard back from my doctor on my lab results. I'll talk about what she said in another video, but I'm really trying to get more vitamins through dark leafy greens into my diet. So I got these to go in with my lettuces and cabbages. Next up are squash and peppers. So I grew these two last year, the zucchini and the summer squash, and they did really well. However, I ran out of room in my garden at my last house, and the chickens, so it was on a bed outside of the fence, and the chickens just destroyed them. So we didn't get to enjoy very many, but we love squash and zucchini, so I will be growing these again. Next is the Craig's Grande Jalapeno. I grew these last year. They are a prolific producer. I really like them. I also like to freeze my jalapenos whole, and I use them in like Instapot whole chickens. I use jalapenos in a lot of things because I like a little bit of spice. So these were really good. The bullnose bell pepper, I've grown these I think for 4 years. I really like them. I was looking for the bell peppers that I grew last year that were like, it was like a light purple color, and they were not offered this year. So I'm trying the Zulu pepper because I just want a little bit of fun with the color of my peppers. So I got these, and I saved the best for last, tomatoes. I don't know why. Tomatoes are probably my favorite garden. Technically they're fruit. I just love tomatoes. I don't know if it's just being Southern and growing up, all of my great aunts and grandparents, they all grew tomatoes and they were just the best, like acidic with salt on them. Just tomatoes are just so good to me. They did not have, I've grown Rebecca Allen tomatoes for the last 3 years and I really liked, I felt like the acidity was a good balance, and they did not have those seeds this year. So I had to get creative. I'm starting from scratch, but I got the mushroom basket tomato because I love the pretty rippled edges, and sliced open it just looked so good. Next I got the black cherry tomatoes. This in their catalog was really highly recommended for flavor, and I haven't done the best at growing growing cherry tomatoes, and these are just such perfect snacks when you're working in the garden or for your kids. So I really want to up my cherry tomato game. I grew these last year and I got to pick like 2 before we moved, but they were massive, and so I wanted to try them again before I write them off. The flavor was okay, but granted, when we were going back to our old garden, like to check on things when we were trying to sell the house, I would just pick what was on there, and they hadn't been cared for or watered a lot. I think that might have affected some of the flavor, and some of them I just picked completely green and let them ripen in the windowsill. I wasn't impressed by the flavor. I just want to give it another shot in a garden that's actually cared for. Next is the Cherokee purple tomato. I have heard such good things about this tomato. So many YouTubers that I follow grow this, and I'm just always like, that is such a pretty tomato. I have no idea if it's going to taste good, but I am excited to grow it. I grew these last year. These were so good. They were so good. The Lucky Tiger tomato. They're bigger than a cherry tomato, but they're big enough, they're small enough where you can pop them in your mouth. And to me, the flavor was so good, and they were such a pretty color. So I'm very excited to grow these again. And then this was my free seed spoon tomato. So we'll see how that is. Alright, so my strategy on these next 2 tomatoes. I did not realize you can grow like a paste tomato that is meant more for canning and recipes because it has less empty space in it and less seeds. So when you boil these down, you're actually getting more tomato product versus water from the inside of the tomato. My mom and I love to can tomatoes. I have a video on my channel of how to can these tomatoes. It's super easy. You don't need any kind of canner to make these, and they're such a staple. My granny did these, and I use them in spaghettis and soups, and it just flavors it so well. So my goal, since I have a lot bigger space to garden in this year, is to do a row of just canning tomatoes. So I got 2 different kinds because I read the descriptions in the catalog and then I read reviews of them, and they were kind of mixed. So I didn't want to just put all my eggs in one basket, so I got 2 different kind of paste tomatoes. So I got the Martino's Roma tomato, and then I got the Amish paste tomato. So I will probably grow, I don't know how many seeds are in here, but I'll probably grow all of them and just try to have as many paste tomatoes as possible to can. And I'll report back if I like these and which one I liked better. So that's it. I got a lot of seeds. Hopefully I didn't bite off more than I can chew, but I'm just so excited. I have such a large gardening space. If you haven't seen our in-ground garden, we just got it, the last 3 rows finished. So I have 10 30-foot rows of gardening space, and I'm so excited about it. So I might have went a little overboard with my seeds, but I don't regret it right now. We'll see how I feel in the summer when I'm harvesting a lot of this. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have grown any of these seed varieties, and if so, if you liked them or didn't like them. Also, any of your favorite seed varieties. It doesn't have to be from Baker Creek Seeds, but any other seed places that you have found, like tried and true seeds that are a staple in your garden. I would love to hear, because I'm open to trying new seeds and I love to hear other people's gardening experiences with them. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll subscribe. I try to put out a new video every week or so about our new farm that we purchased this past summer. It has a historic farmhouse that we are lovingly restoring. It has 14 acres, and we're trying to make this a homestead. So I hope you'll follow along. And to all of my tried and true subscribers, y'all are the best. Thank you for being here and for watching my videos. And here's to dreaming of spring while we enjoy the winter time. I hope you enjoyed this peek inside the screen door of a Southern homemaker. Bye!